The notification appeared at 3:47 a.m. Eastern Time, cutting through the darkness of Marcus Chen's home office like a blade. His phone buzzed against the mahogany desk, the screen illuminating his face with an eerie blue glow. The message was simple, but it made his blood run cold. Phoenix token down 89% in last hour. Marcus had been tracking Phoenix token for months. It wasn't just another meme coin or DeFi experiment. This was supposed to be the next generation of deflationary tokens, backed by a team of former Goldman Sachs quantitative analysts and MIT blockchain researchers. The tokenomics were elegant, the community was growing, and the partnerships were legitimate. Or so everyone believed. He grabbed his laptop and pulled up the charts. The candlesticks told a story of carnage. Phoenix token had opened the day at $42. Now it was trading at $4.50, falling like a stone through water. The volume was astronomical. Someone was selling, and they were selling everything. But Marcus knew something the rest of the market didn't. 3 weeks earlier, he had stumbled across something that had kept him awake every night since. Hidden deep in the Phoenix token smart contract, buried beneath layers of complex code and mathematical formulas, was a function that nobody was talking about. A function that could change everything. The official Phoenix token white paper was a masterpiece of financial engineering. It promised a revolutionary deflationary mechanism where 2% of every transaction would be burned, permanently removing tokens from circulation. Another 2% would be redistributed to holders, creating passive income for long-term investors. The remaining 96% would complete the transaction as normal. It was beautiful. It was elegant. It was also a lie. Marcus had discovered the truth entirely by accident. He was a smart contract auditor by trade, one of the few people in the crypto space who could read Solidity code like others read novels. His company, Chen Security Solutions, had built a reputation for finding the unfindable, the subtle bugs and hidden vulnerabilities that could destroy projects worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Phoenix token had never hired his company. They claimed their internal team was sufficient, that their code had been reviewed by multiple independent developers. But Marcus was curious. The project was gaining too much attention too quickly, and in his experience that was always a red flag. Late one night, unable to sleep, he had pulled up the Phoenix token contract on Etherscan. What he found made him question everything he thought he knew about the project. The deflationary mechanism was real. The 2% burn was happening exactly as advertised. But there was another function, one that wasn't mentioned in any documentation. It was called emergency tax, and it was controlled by a single wallet address. When activated, this function could increase the transaction tax from 4% to any amount the controller desired. 20%, 50%, even 100%, effectively freezing all transfers. But that wasn't the worst part. The worst part was what happened to the extra tax. Instead of being burned or redistributed to holders, it was sent directly to a specific wallet address. A wallet that had been accumulating tokens for months. Marcus had traced the wallet through multiple transactions and mixing services. It belonged to someone with intimate knowledge of the Phoenix token project. Someone on the inside. Now, watching the price collapse in real time, Marcus realized the emergency tax had been activated. Every sell order was being taxed at an astronomical rate, with the tax going directly to the hidden wallet. Investors thought they were panic selling, but most of their money was being siphoned away by the very mechanism they had trusted to make them rich. His phone rang. The caller ID showed Sarah Mitchell, a crypto journalist who had become a trusted source over the years. Sarah had connections throughout the industry and a reputation for breaking the biggest stories first. Marcus, are you seeing this Phoenix token situation? Her voice was tense, urgent. I'm watching it now. Sarah, there's something you need to know. What kind of something? Marcus hesitated. What he was about to share would destroy Phoenix token completely. It would wipe out millions of dollars in investor funds and potentially trigger a broader market panic. But people deserved to know the truth. There's a hidden tax function in the smart contract. Someone is stealing money from every transaction. The line went quiet for a long moment. Are you certain? I've been tracking it for weeks. The contract has a backdoor that allows the controller to set transaction taxes up to 100%. All the extra tax goes to a single wallet. Jesus Christ. How much money are we talking about? Marcus pulled up his analysis. Based on trading volume over the past 6 months, I estimate they've collected somewhere between $50 and $70 million. Who's behind it? That's what I've been trying to figure out. The wallet address is registered through multiple privacy layers, but I've been tracing the connections. Sarah, I think it goes all the way to the top. What happened next would shake the cryptocurrency world to its core. Sarah's article went live at 6:15 a.m., just as the Asian markets were opening. The headline read, "Exclusive, Phoenix token contains hidden tax function, millions stolen." Within minutes, the article was trending on crypto Twitter, shared thousands of times across Telegram groups, and picked up by major financial news outlets. The Phoenix token team's response was swift but panicked. They released a statement claiming the emergency tax function was a security feature designed to protect investors during market manipulation events. They insisted that all collected taxes would be returned to the community treasury and used for development purposes. But Marcus had more evidence. The hidden wallet hadn't just been collecting taxes. It had been actively trading against Phoenix token holders, using insider knowledge to profit from every market movement. When the team announced partnerships, the wallet would buy first. When they hinted at delays or problems, it would sell before the public knew anything was wrong. The wallet belonged to Dr. Richard Hawthorne, Phoenix Token's co-founder and chief technology officer, the man who had personally assured investors that their smart contract was completely transparent and audited by multiple independent firms. But that was only the beginning of the story. Marcus's investigation revealed that Dr. Hawthorne had used the same hidden tax mechanism in 3 previous projects. Each time, he had waited for the project to gain significant traction before activating the emergency tax and draining millions from unsuspecting investors. Phoenix Token wasn't just a single scam. It was part of a sophisticated operation that had been running for over 2 years, targeting different communities and using increasingly complex methods to hide the theft. The method was always the same. Hawthorne would join an existing project as a technical advisor or co-founder, offering to upgrade their smart contract with advanced tokenomics. His contracts always included legitimate features that worked exactly as advertised, building trust and attracting investors. But buried deep in the code, invisible to casual inspection, was always the same hidden function. Phoenix Token was supposed to be his masterpiece. The project had attracted over $200 million in total value locked, making it one of the largest DeFi protocols in the space. If he had been more patient, more careful, he might have extracted even more money over time. Instead, his greed had exposed him. The massive tax activation that caused the overnight price crash had been too obvious, too sudden. It had triggered the investigation that would bring down his entire operation. Marcus received a call that afternoon from Agent Jennifer Walsh of the FBI's Cryptocurrency Crimes Unit. The Bureau had been tracking similar patterns across multiple blockchain projects and had been building a case for months. Marcus's evidence was the final piece they needed. "Mr. Chen, we understand you've uncovered significant evidence related to the Phoenix Token situation. We'd like to speak with you about cooperating with our investigation." "What kind of cooperation?" "Dr. Hawthorne has been running what we believe is one of the most sophisticated cryptocurrency fraud schemes we've ever encountered. Your technical analysis could help us trace the full extent of the operation and potentially recover stolen funds." The investigation that followed would reveal the true scope of Hawthorne's scheme. Using Marcus's contract analysis as a starting point, federal investigators traced connections across dozens of projects and hundreds of millions of dollars in stolen cryptocurrency. Hawthorne had been methodical in his approach. He never targeted the same type of project twice in a row. After Phoenix Token's deflationary mechanism, his next project might focus on yield farming or NFT utilities. He constantly evolved his methods, staying ahead of security researchers and auditors. But he had made one critical mistake. Every hidden wallet he controlled was funded from a single source, a Bitcoin address that had received payments from a known cryptocurrency exchange. By following the blockchain transactions backward, investigators were able to identify the bank account used to purchase the original Bitcoin. The bank account belonged to Dr. Richard Hawthorne. The arrest happened during Phoenix Token's emergency community call, where Hawthorne was attempting to calm panicked investors and explain away the hidden tax function. FBI agents entered his Miami Beach penthouse at exactly 8:47 p.m., interrupting the live stream that was being watched by over 50,000 people. The crypto community watched in real time as Hawthorne was read his rights and led away in handcuffs. The stream continued for another 3 minutes, showing only an empty chair and a laptop displaying falling price charts. But even with Hawthorne in custody, the Phoenix Token situation was far from over. The smart contract couldn't be modified or stopped. The hidden tax function remained active, continuing to drain money from every transaction. Investors were trapped, unable to sell without losing most of their remaining funds to the tax. Marcus found himself working around the clock with a team of blockchain developers and legal experts, trying to find a solution. The challenge was unprecedented. How do you save investors from a smart contract that's working exactly as designed, even though that design was fraudulent? The solution came from an unexpected source. Dr. Lisa Park, a blockchain researcher at Stanford, discovered that the emergency tax function had a built-in expiration date. Hawthorne had programmed it to automatically deactivate after 90 days, probably as a failsafe to avoid exactly the kind of attention it was now receiving. But 90 days was too long. At the current rate of trading, the remaining tax would drain nearly all remaining value from the token before the function expired. The community organized what became known as the Phoenix Freeze. Every major exchange agreed to temporarily halt Phoenix token trading, and community leaders urged all holders to stop making transactions. By reducing trading volume to near zero, they could minimize the amount of money being stolen while legal and technical solutions were pursued. The freeze worked, but it created a new problem. Phoenix token became effectively worthless, not because of market forces, but because it couldn't be traded. Investors were sitting on millions of dollars in tokens that existed only on paper. 3 weeks into the freeze, Marcus received an encrypted message that would change everything. The sender claimed to be a former member of Hawthorne's team, someone who had discovered the hidden tax function months earlier but had been threatened into silence. "I have the private key to the emergency tax controller wallet," the message read. "I can deactivate the function permanently, but I need protection. Hawthorne has connections you don't understand. This goes deeper than just cryptocurrency fraud." Marcus forwarded the message to Agent Walsh immediately. The FBI arranged a secure meeting with the informant, a young programmer named David Liu who had worked as Hawthorne's lead developer for over a year. Liu's story revealed the true scope of the operation. Hawthorne wasn't working alone. He was part of a network of fraudsters who shared technical resources and coordinated attacks across different cryptocurrency projects. They had developed a library of hidden functions and backdoors that could be inserted into any smart contract, and they shared intelligence about which projects were gaining traction and worth targeting. The network included former employees of major cryptocurrency exchanges, blockchain development companies, and even traditional financial institutions. They used their insider knowledge to identify vulnerable projects and their technical expertise to exploit them without detection. Phoenix Token was just one target in a coordinated campaign that had stolen over $500 million across dozens of projects over 3 years. But Liu had kept detailed records. He had copies of private communications, technical documentation for all the hidden functions, and most importantly, the private keys needed to deactivate the backdoors in active projects. The FBI operation that followed was unprecedented in the cryptocurrency space. Coordinated raids in 12 cities across 4 countries resulted in 27 arrests and the seizure of over $300 million in cryptocurrency assets. Marcus worked with federal investigators to deactivate hidden tax functions in 6 active projects, saving an estimated $150 million in investor funds. For Phoenix Token specifically, Liu's private key allowed them to permanently disable the emergency tax and restore normal trading. The token's price never recovered to its previous highs, but investors were able to sell their holdings without being robbed by hidden taxes. Many lost significant money, but it could have been much worse. Dr. Richard Hawthorne was sentenced to 18 years in federal prison after pleading guilty to wire fraud, money laundering, and conspiracy charges. During his sentencing hearing, prosecutors revealed that he had personally profited by over $80 million from his various schemes. But the Phoenix token case had broader implications for the entire cryptocurrency industry. It exposed fundamental weaknesses in how smart contracts are audited and how investors evaluate the security of DeFi projects. Marcus's security company saw demand for their services increase by over 400% in the months following the case. Every major DeFi project wanted independent verification that their contracts didn't contain hidden functions or backdoors. The industry began developing new standards for smart contract transparency, including requirements for public audits and automated tools that could detect suspicious functions. Some blockchain networks implemented protocol-level protections against hidden tax functions and other common attack vectors. But perhaps the most important change was cultural. The Phoenix token case taught the crypto community that trust, but verify wasn't enough. In a space where code is law, every line of that code needs to be understood and verified by independent experts. Sarah Mitchell won a Blockchain Journalism Award for her coverage of the Phoenix token story. Her follow-up investigation revealed similar hidden functions in over 40 other projects, leading to additional arrests and the recovery of millions more in stolen funds. For Marcus, the case became a defining moment in his career. He established the Phoenix Protocol, a non-profit organization dedicated to providing free smart contract audits for community-driven DeFi projects. The organization was funded by recovered assets from the original Phoenix token investigation. 2 years later, Marcus received a message that brought the story full circle. It was from David Liu, the informant who had provided the private keys to deactivate the hidden tax functions. "I wanted you to know that I've started my own blockchain security company," Liu wrote. "We specialize in detecting the kinds of hidden functions that I used to help create. It's my way of making amends for the damage I helped cause." The message included a link to Liu's company website. Their motto read, "Trust the code, but verify every function." The Phoenix token case became a turning point for cryptocurrency security, but it also served as a reminder of how quickly trust can be weaponized in decentralized systems. The promise of blockchain technology was transparency and immutability, but those same features could be used to hide theft in plain sight. In the end, Phoenix token taught the crypto world a valuable lesson. The most dangerous smart contracts aren't the ones that fail unexpectedly, but the ones that work exactly as designed, even when that design includes hidden mechanisms to steal from the very people who trust them most. The token with a hidden tax had revealed the hidden vulnerabilities in an entire industry, forcing a reckoning that would make all future projects more secure. Sometimes it takes a disaster to prevent an even greater catastrophe. If you enjoyed it, please like, share, and subscribe to FictionWire Crypto. This is a fictional story created purely for entertainment.